Welcome folks, I am Jaby Koay, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
Hey guys.
Just moments ago I put out a video about the Xbox Series X. I am very, very excited about the design of it and can't wait to own one myself. And in the comments they were telling me to look at this trailer right here to see some of the graphical power, the graphics of the Xbox Series X. And so here we are. We're gonna look at this thing. In the description it says, SENUA'S Saga HELLBLADE 2, the next entry in the HELLBLADE franchise from developer Ninja Theory. Footage for this trailer was captured entirely in engine.
Wow.
Built for the new Xbox Series X. Here we go.
That's really pretty.
That's obviously inspired by Lord of the Rings.
I mean, it looks like
Two Towers. That looks so real.
I know.
Wow. So tell me what happened there, ACHARA KIRK. You're more on the in on all that
All right.
supernatural stuff.
Well, it just looked like she was doing some sort of summoning, you know?
Summoning of what?
Summoning of some great being or demon. I don't know if she's good or bad. I think maybe she's a baddie. Maybe she's the main person and that's just the storyline, you know, but it looked cool. I was just really taken with all of the detail and it kind of reminded me of the Death Stranding trailer, just the amount of photoreal looking stuff, but it was just stunning, like even the light in her eyes.
Well, what I was focused in on was her mouth. Mouths are, from what I understand, from what I've been told by visual effects artists, are one of the hardest things to get right. And it was one of the first things I pointed out when I was criticizing the effects on Captain Marvel, is when you look at the mouth, you can oftentimes tell like about how lifelike something is. And her mouth looked like because of her mouth, it looked like I was looking at a real person.
Yeah.
You saw the gum line and the teeth and everything and the shape.
And the teeth weren't perfect either. I noticed that too. I was like, they got it when she opened her mouth. The indentation of her teeth were exactly how probably the actress's is, you know? Like, she doesn't have perfectly straight teeth. I mean, they're not by no means crooked, but it's just like, it just looked like you were looking at a real person. It was just, wow.
There was this comment. There's this comment that says, never mind, I didn't want to sleep again anyways. That's great. That's by Digital Geno. Yeah, I mean, that looks beautiful.
It is.
I mean, it's a kind of a unsettling thing, of course, but graphics just look amazing.
Yeah.
You know, this is the kind of thing I'm waiting for, or the kind of thing I was waiting for, where I go, okay, one of my concerns that I raised in one of the videos that we've shot in the past 24 hours is when the PS4 first dropped, I had a hard time distinguishing between PS3 and PS4 games sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, it looked so similar that it was almost like, why? What's the point of the PS4 and adopting that when I can get the same experience on the PS3 if I'm getting the same frame rates and whatnot, same resolution, just the graphics don't look quite as nice. And it's like you have to really pixel peep in order to see the difference between the two. Only when it's side by side can you see it. But here, it's a pretty big difference between this and anything you saw on, you know, current gen consoles, where it just looks real. And if that's what it looks like in game, that is pretty darn impressive, where you're just in that environment and that's not just a cutscene. Like, that would be amazing. My my apprehension or my reluctance, it's always, well, it's a cutscene. Even if it's in-engine, like if you go and play pretty much any game by Hideo Kojima, the cutscenes, which all use the in-engine graphics, look better than the game itself, even though it's all the same graphical. It's all coming from the same source, but for whatever reason, the cutscene stuff looks nicer. Like I was playing Death Stranding, and it looks a beautiful game, but it looks even nicer when it's a cutscene, even though it's using the same engine and whatnot. I don't know how to perfectly articulate all that stuff because I'm not a game developer, but I think y'all understand what I'm saying. What I would be excited to see is if it looks like that when you're walking around the world, interacting with people. Like oftentimes when you are, well, Death Stranding being one of the exceptions, I think. Oftentimes when you're walking around and talking and interacting with people, their mouths are simply opening and closing because it's easier to deal with. It's like not as taxing on the programmers or whatever. But to see their mouths move a certain shape, which is the kind of thing Hideo Kojima would try to do, I would be impressed if they're able to make it look like this level of realism while you're just, moving around in the world and playing around. That's awesome.
It's such an exciting frontier in games right now because if they're starting to look this photoreal and then VR is obviously coming up and is the next step as well, can you imagine how crazy it would be to have VR be that photoreal? Like it's actually, it's cool and terrifying at the same time.
I'm excited for it. I would love it to look that real. The more real, the better, in my opinion. I mentioned this in a previous video that we shot. My understanding, though, is the limitation isn't so much the graphical power of a system, but more so the time that developers have to develop a game that enables it to look as nice as it can. Now, maybe at this point it's a mixture of the two. Maybe the new tools that the Xbox Series X and the PS5 have to offer, maybe it will enable it to be that kind of realistic looking graphics. Whatever they have in their development kits or whatever it's called, maybe they're enabling realistic looking graphics to be enabled more easily. I have no idea how any of that works. All I can say is that I'm excited. I'm not into this type of a game, I can tell you that much, but I'm into graphically what it has to offer. At least what we're hinting at here. This is cool. And I don't want to be an early adopter. I don't want to be an early adopter. I keep saying that, but I don't. It's just so, it's like, because the thing about it is like, less than a few months later, you see those prices drop so hard, and it's like, ugh, was it really worth it though? I didn't even have the time to play. Why did I adopt it so soon? Like, I'm playing my Xbox One X now, but when I first got it, I barely touched it. I'm getting into the games because I'm like, I've had this stuff for a while and it's about to be expired, so I'm gonna start making use of it. The next announcement I want to hear, if they haven't said it already, if they have, please let me know in the comments. What I want to hear next is that developers for already released games are going to work on updates to improve the quality of your current library when you bring it into the Xbox Series X. So like, if whatever you have for the Xbox One X or Xbox One is gonna look way nicer when you bring it to the Series X because of the patch they release or the update they release. That's what I'm saying. Because that would be amazing. Because then it gives new life to all of the games on your shelf. Almost like buying a new graphics card for PC or PC gamers. Like when you buy a new graphics card, then you can enable all this other shit that you didn't have access to before. Because you didn't have the capability. Now you do. I'm looking forward to this very, very much. And what?
I can just see what's gonna happen. The new Xbox is gonna drop and you're gonna be like, I want to buy, I'm buying and pre-ordering it now.
That might be when I decide to redesign my whole entertainment center, because it's been the same for years. It's been pretty, like, with little things being moved around here and there, but it's been pretty much the same setup for a long time because it just is a huge hassle to, you know, replace stuff over there. But with the Xbox One X, or Series X rather, the naming is so bad, by the way. What the hell? Anyway.
I've heard multiple people say that.
You get used to it after a while. Then you call it the XSX or something, or just the Series X. You know, you find short stuff to call it. Anywho, I might redesign that situation, not that you guys care about that, with the Series X to make room for it, because I'm excited about this system, man. I'm more excited for this than the PS5, to be perfectly honest. Even though Sony often has better exclusives, or even more exclusives, what the Series X is offering just seems so cool in terms of its design. I know it's gonna be a quiet system, and it's gonna be a powerful system. Meanwhile, the PS5 is busy trying to look cute. I already know what the PS5 Slim is gonna look like. They're gonna get, okay, I am currently ignorant on what the PS5 actually looks like, because every time I looked at it, I'm like, what the hell is that? And it's like, it's got this big V in the middle to symbolize 5.
Oh.
You know, and it just seems like an inefficient design, but I don't know what I'm talking about. All I know is that my experience of the PS4 and the PS4 Pro seem to be inefficient designs because they are loud, whereas the Xbox One is quiet and it's more powerful. The sleekness of the Xbox Series X to me says we are more concerned with function over form.
Right.
You know, it's just a nice, sleek, simple form. It gets the job done. Bing, bang, boom. Whereas the PS5 looks like a spaceship. Like, why?
I just want to play a game. I don't need to go into outer space, okay?
It doesn't need to look that crazy. Just make it work.
Yeah.
You know, it could look like a cardboard box for all I care, as long as it works well and it's cool and it's quiet. Check out ACHARA KIRK on the social media. Recommend her games that she can play that are
easy.
That have a very easy mode available.
Yes,
so,
super easy mode and a good story.
spoken like a true gamer.